I'm a little bit reticent to set dates on when ADOT's going to start or end anything. Regarding the stoplight at Airport Road, that stoplight construction is due to start within the next week, and the funding is in place. There was an issue where the funding changed from being a state source to a federal source, and we ended up, I believe we got ARA funding on it, actually saved the city some money. If we put a stoplight in there at Airport Road and we end up taking over the 89A corridor and we decide that the design that we want really should be a series of roundabouts, what then? Have we just wasted all that money on putting that light in at Airport? I think the die has been cast on the Airport Road stoplight, but I do think that it needs to be considered in terms of where we're going from here. If we are moving toward a turnback, what we're going to do with Adante. Obviously, it doesn't work to have a roadway that has both a combination of stoplights and roundabouts. So I'm a little bit worried about the timing there. Really, it seems from a logical standpoint of planning that we go to the public, go through the community plan or the planning, the redevelopment of 89A, decide what we as a community want there, and then we move forward. Obviously, the thing that's leading all this forward is the liability concerns from ADOT. Every time that I talk to them, that's what it comes back to. We're out there hanging, you know, and if somebody gets hurt or killed on the roadway, you know, then we certainly are looking at a serious liability issue, and I fully understand that. We have been moving toward improving the safety on that roadway, and I think that the things that we've done in terms of reducing the speed limit, increasing public education, dramatically increasing enforcement, which hasn't been really embraced by this community, I might say, by some people that have called me that have gotten a speeding ticket there. But you know, those kinds of things have really demonstrated a dramatic decrease in the accidents and increased the safety on that roadway. As you may or may not know, the focus in the discussions with ADOT has been primarily about a reconsideration of installing the lights and looking at the alternatives. It's clear at this point, after discussions with the governor, with discussions with Director Helikowski, with the chairman of the ADOT board, Bob Montoya, and other members of the board, that ADOT fully intends on installing the lights along the corridor. That being said, the only option for the city, if the real desire of the people of the city is not to install the lights, is to look at a turnback of the roadway and the city taking ownership. Well, you know, it's been a very long, difficult, contentious, arduous process to, you know, to this point. And, you know, we really haven't accomplished what the end goal was when we began this process, and that is to really create a roadway that addresses the pedestrian safety issues both day and night, and does it with the best solutions possible. And the feeling has always been that lights aren't the best overall solution. Obviously, it doesn't address the daytime safety issue. It also doesn't address the issue of creating a corridor or a boulevard that really fits into, you know, the environment in which we live. So unfortunately, we've come to this point where the choice is either lights or taking the roadway back, and both of them are, in my mind, unpalatable. You know, my preference is to work with ADOT. They retain control of the roadway, and we install alternatives to the lights. But that's not where this has gone, and we don't have the support of the governor. We don't have the support of the director of ADOT. We don't have the support of the board. And if you don't have those three, or at least a couple of them, you know, I think that it's pretty clear that we're going to have to make that choice.